Hello, welcome back. I'm JIAT De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAM Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the project named eShop, and today we're going to discuss about the program of the seller's product activation and deactivation process. It means we're going to talk about this switch. Through this switch we can make the product active or deactive. So now we have deactivated the product. So in our database we can see the status ID equal to 2. In the status table the 2 means the inactive. So then our product has inactivated. So when we can click on this, the product has activated. So then let's again move to our database and then let's check. Now the status has changed to 1, where it means the product has activated. So then let's move to the code of this. Here's the HTML code related to that, and then in the input tag related to that I have given an ID as toggle, and then with the ID I have code the product ID that's stored in the array called selected data, and then I have called a function name change state on the change of this. With the change state function I have given an parameter as by calling the product ID of that's stored in the selected data array. It means the product ID of the relevant product that's stored in the array called selected data. And then again I have used a PHP script, and then I have used the if condition. I have checked whether the status ID that's stored in the selected data, it means that status is equal to 2. It means if this is deactivated, then I have used the attribute called check here. So then let's move to the JavaScript file, and then let's talk about this change status function. Before that, here too I have used the PHP script, and I have used the if condition and checked whether if the status ID that is stored in this array data, it means that status of the relevant product is equal to 1, then we display the text as make a product deactive. If this selected the status was not equal to 1, then we display message the text as make a product active. So then let's move to JavaScript file to talk about this change status function. In the change status function, as we send through a parameter the product ID, we obtain the product ID through here, and then storing that in a variable called product ID, and then creating a new XML HTTP request, and then storing that in a variable called request here. And then I have called an anonymous function in each changing state of this request, and then inside this anonymous function I have checked whether using an if condition the status of this request is equal to 200 and ready state of this request is equal to 4. If so, we get the response state of this request and storing that in a variable called response. And then again I have used if condition and checked whether the response we get back from the server side is equal to deactivated or the response is equal to activated. If so, we use the reload function here, and then if the response is not equal to deactivated or the response is not equal to activated, we display the response as a message to the user. And after that I have used open function here. Here I have used the get method to send the information to the server side. So then I'm sending the information to the change status process.php file. As we send the information to the server side through get method, we send information by binding it to the URL. So we use the question mark here to bind the information and giving the name as ID and assigning the product ID to this name. And then we use the true here as to represent we using the ajax method, and then I'm calling the send function here. And then let's move to change status process.php file. Here I have included the connection.php file, which includes the connection code with our database, and then I have obtained the product ID which we get client side through the get method and storing that in a variable called product ID. And then I have called the search function, and with the query select all from product table where ID is equal to the ID we have obtained, and storing that in a variable called product result set. And I have checked the number of rows in it and stored that in a variable called product num. And then inside if condition I have checked whether the product num is equal to 1. If the product number is equal to 1, then I have used the fetch as so can obtain the data that's stored in the product result set and storing that in a variable called product data. And then I have created a variable called status, and then I have stored the status ID that's stored in the array called product data in the variable called status here. And then again I have used an if condition and checked whether the status is equal to 1. If so, we use an IUD function with the update query as update product table with these values. I'm going to set these values with the status ID equal to I'm stating to set the status ID of this product equal to 2, where the ID is equal to the product ID that we have obtained. And then we echo a message as deactivated, and if the status ID was not equal to 1, then it comes to the else if of this if condition, and there too I have checked whether the status equal to 2. If so, we use an IOD function with the update query as update product table and set the status ID column with the value as 1, where the ID of the product is equal to the product ID that we have obtained. And then I have echoed a message as activated here. If the product number is not equal to 1, then it comes to the else condition of this if condition and echo a message as something went wrong, please try again later. So that is the process of the activation and deactivation of the product. So then let's meet to the next video, and bye for now.